the Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban on PC with Cynaschism. We'll be right back after this.
Yo,
Hello everyone, and
Hello.
welcome back. We are here with our next games. Our runner for this one is going to be Cynaschism. He's going to be running the Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban on PC for us. It's going to be 80% this time, and we're joined by Nixo. He's going to be helping out with commentary. Thank you guys so much. Just would like to take a moment and remind everyone that the GDQ Hotfix is funded in part thanks to subscriptions and bits. So thank you everybody for tuning in, and please consider subscribing. But Cynaschism, tell us a little bit about this game. How does it differ from the previous one we just saw?
Yeah, so in this game, it was going to be 90%, and normally to beat the game, this is a collectathon kind of game. The old 90% was, and then we recently found a 25-minute time save at the end to make this category not collectathon at all. So we're just going to be blitzing through levels. There's going to be a little more tech in terms of movement. You're going to see coming up in the spell challenges. There is a similar kind of tech to brightness boosting, although it's not the same, and we don't use it as much. But it's pretty cool. There is some tech to skipping cutscenes and stuff. Whereas in HP2 you can just hold down the cutscene key, you gotta have to spam it methodically here. But I think we're ready to start. Anything I can add, Nixo?
No, I think we'll cover most of the tricks during the run. And we start over the cutscene anyway, so...
Yeah, we started with a minute and a half cutscene, so we're able to explain things. So, I guess we'll start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck.
Thank you. So yeah, this is Harry Potter 3 on PC, 90%. On the consoles, there are different games as well, so we had to mention PC. But yeah, the train, not much going on here. There is some skips, and there's an RNG section. But yeah, enjoy the games.
Yeah, it's generally one of the slower parts of the run. It's mainly because you can't skip a bunch of the cutscenes.
Yeah, we can skip 80% of the cutscenes in this game, and the ones we can and can't skip are pretty arbitrary. I don't know why they decided to do that. Whereas HP2 you can skip 99%. I think the only one you couldn't was the cutscene before you enter Slytherin common room.
Yeah, it should be the only one.
Yeah.
The theory in this game is, for me at least, that you can't skip the cutscenes where they try to teach you something about the game, either mechanics or story-wise, but it's not always true in all cases.
Yeah. Enjoy this game's pretty witty dialogue. You're gonna hear that a lot, because we can't skip the cutscenes in these parts. Yeah, Resident Lupin chat.
Yeah. Like every beginning.
Don't worry, Ron. We'll help you find.
Alright, so here, the beginning learn this now. So we're gonna get to this door, and once we open this door with Alvamore, we're gonna be doing Scabbard Skip, which is gonna be walking around a cutscene trigger and then jumping over it with the suitcases on the side. And then you're gonna see me jumping over invisible platforms because they should be there when I hit the cutscene, but I don't. Okay, good. There you go. And there's the invisible platform that should be there when the cutscene plays.
Nice. That's actually kind of precise. The cutscene trigger is kind of big, and because we can't skip a lot of cutscenes, we have different ways to skip them than just mashing by jumping around, for example.
And holding shift while moving, you actually go into a walk animation. And also, if you press shift during a ledge grab, you cancel the ledge grab animation, so you can clear the ledge earlier. So you're gonna see me doing that a bunch. But yeah, coming up in this room is the introduction of turn casting. So essentially, if you turn into a wall, you can cast what's behind it. So normally what we're supposed to do here is use all three of us to cast this cabinet. and then there'll be a gargoyle we can Lumos on. But
I'll start, and you two join in.
About that. We just skipped to the next part.
There's a really long cutscene actually if you don't do the skip.
Yeah, there's unskippable cutscenes there if you can't do turn casting there. But yeah, the story behind turn casting was that Rest was mad at the game one run, so in like rage he just started just doing a bunch of stuff and ended up turn casting into a gargoyle or dragon statue, and that's how that strat was found.
Thankfully, it skips some really tedious parts of the game.
But yeah, here's the RNG section. What's gonna happen is a monster book is gonna spawn, and the number of pages it spawns is RNG. The max you can get is 7. For every one that doesn't spawn, you lose 2 seconds because you have to. It's a pool of health to kill this boss, mini boss. So
yeah, I think like what happens is
4
that
pages.
Oh, that's so bad. That's so unlucky.
Gone.
Yep. Every page is about 3 seconds, and what we think is that happens is that 2 pages basically spawn inside each other, so one doesn't have space and it's just falling down and clipping away.
Oh, I thought that there was like a box of spawning zone, and if it goes outside the zone, it despawns.
Yeah, it's one of those.
One of those.
But there's nothing you can do, and like a lot of runner, at least that go for a good time, reset if they don't get 6 or 7 usually. So 4 is pretty bad.
Yeah. Also, we have to be the person to deal the second hit for each page, or else if they do it, you deal no damage, basically. So, yeah.
Runners known to snap those pages.
In general, in this game, there's a lot more co-op casting mechanics that HP4 will take it to the max on. But, yeah, there's bits and pieces of co-op casting in this game, and that's one of the annoying parts.
Yeah, there's a whole level around it later on, and it's probably the most boring, but still the most annoying for speedrunning as well.
Yeah, this is the last room of train. It's pretty simple. The Dementors. Oh yeah, I think Emmy mentioned this in chat, but they replaced the logos of Rick December with the ones, or they made the postal logo Rick December from HP2. And for some reason they just moved spells around, which makes no sense. There is no Flipendo in this game, unfortunately. So
no Nintendo.
No Nintendo.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't know why they did that. Like, they had no reason to.
Yeah, but basically Rick December does what Flipendo used to do, and poses for switches now, or pushing stuff around.
Yeah, there was train. You didn't see anything there, but I actually had to time those cutscene skips presses. Or else I could get like an infinite hourglass loop if you spam the key, or it just takes a while to load. But yeah, there's train.
So the tutorial is done, and now we head on to the actual fun stuff of the run. Because the first spell lesson is probably already like the hardest part. Has a lot of neat tricks that you will see soon.
Oh yeah, Carpe done right is pretty cool.
Yeah,
you'll see why. Look at those eyes, guys. Look at those tech characters. The eyes are so creepy.
Not just the eyes; it's basically everything.
I know, but that's the creepiest part.
Yeah. And we get an introduction to like how spell challenges work. They want you to collect shields and stuff, which we had to do actually in the old any percent before we found the new trigger that was mentioned. So this challenge was a lot longer in the old run, but thankfully we don't have to anymore, so we can actually go fast.
Yeah, we don't actually have to get any of these shields because of the new 90%.
Yeah.
Well, I guess the only one you get is the end, the last one, because that's what you have to do to get out of the level, but...
True. I guess. So, get ready for Carpe.
I'm probably gonna fill us through from Strat. I'm not feeling confident with this one.
Nah, you got this.
Oh, I got it. Nice. Okay.
Nice. So
So,
as you
yeah.
can see, he's like swinging around on Garbo, which is abusing a glitch in the game, or basically a glitch. You're just supposed to get pulled towards the object, but if you're in the air while casting the spell, the physics kinda don't work anymore like they're supposed to. And Ron is swinging around like we just saw.
Yeah, so I did a bunch of stuff there. So that last room, I actually jumped around a cutscene trigger after I pulling those 2 ropes. It saves a couple of seconds as an unskippable cutscene, so that's what I did there. And if you jump while casting Carpe, and when you land, it ends your like cooldown animation, so you can cast quickly after that. So I'm going to be doing that a bunch. So in this room, the reason I'm capped at 6 FPS is if I don't, the game will run fine, but you'll soft walk in this room because the imp won't move if you're like anywhere higher than 60. On the off chance you do get past this room, you probably get a soft walk and like Glacier's final at the end of the run. So everyone just caps the game at 60.
It's pretty much required nowadays.
Pretty much required now. It wasn't required, but it was a soft requirement because
Yeah.
Yeah, Pixie's room. We'll be casting a lot of Pixies and hitting a lot of imps. Okay, here's the 4th shield strat. This is found by the tether. If I get this, hopefully first try. Oh, so close.
Oh. All those swings are like pretty precise, so if you will or cast at the wrong moment, then you will not get it. So definitely one of the most technical part of the run.
So I use that pillar on this side to like redirect my launch, and then there's a death trigger below, so I have to time it right. Yeah, second try is fine. I almost got a first try.
Yeah,
I mean,
pretty
I could
good.
play safer, but I wanted to go for the swag. You know. Alright, these crabs are a little annoying because of their physics. In HP2, they're tamer, but in this game they bounce around a lot, and it's problematic. When the traps have a little like grate at the top, so they can easily bounce off the top and not go in the trap if you're casting too close to it. Alright.
They're also on a cycle, so it's always kind of different, depending on how fast you are, where they spawn.
Alright, so there's that room. That was pretty bad.
That was really good.
And then another Carpe swing up here. Skips us from having to build the Carpe block staircase on the side there with the imprints there. And then we walk backwards into the next section. Okay. This crab can be annoying if you don't cast it right. Okay, that was good. And then we got another Tarzan swing. Oh, I actually missed it. I didn't get the second swing off. Okay. This is fine. Oh, this is interesting. Nope.
That's a special threat.
Nope. I kind of screwed this one up.
Yeah, you basically have to cast at the thing again in the air. And obviously. And if you time it right, or just can't cast it because the game is stupid, then it fails.
Yeah, there's just a lot of things that happen for that swing. Like you can bonk on the bottom of that platform. You can land on that middle platform accidentally. You can hit the torch at the end of the wall. It's just a lot of things.
Yeah.
But yeah, that imp room was actually, I moved around like purposely like that, is to manipulate the imp's movements. So every time you enter like an imp fight, we have like strats to like move around and get them to throw crackers quickly. Because if you don't, it can take a while.
Yeah.
It can be annoying and just sit there and not do anything, because the only way you can kill them is by throwing crackers back at them.
Yeah, it's not always 100% consistent, the imp strats, but it's as good as it gets to manipulate the RNG.
Alright, so coming up is Fred and George Skip. This is going to see like 2.5 minutes, so we're going to ignore Fred. He wants us to follow him, but we're like, nah. Let's just like get out of the castle early by riding this wall up here and then jumping out of the castle.
Nice. That was pretty fast.
So yeah, we just like jump up the slope, land on that torch, and then jump over the gate. It saves us from having to watch like multiple unskippable cutscenes, getting introduced to Fred and George's shop, getting introduced to Peas, which we would fight him for the first time, more uncivil cutscenes, and then after that we would talk to Neville, and then leave the castle. Like, it saves all that.
It's still one of the tricks that like even the best runner can't get consistent, because it's like so precise that you always need like first try is rare, let's say it like that.
Yeah, I've been trying a lot to find a very consistent setup, and at some points I can get it first try a lot, but it's kind of just an on and off thing.
Yeah.
That trick's weird.
Also getting introduced to Buckbeak, who is the hippogriff in the story, and we have a small flying lad.
Yeah.
It's kind of 3D Flappy Bird, but you will see.
Or Superman 64, depending on
Yeah.
how you look at it. In normal any percent, or old any percent, actually, I shouldn't say normal, but we would have to go back here to complete all the courses. There's 5 courses in all, as he says, and this is the first one. So pretty much how you beat the course is just beat the high score on the top right, or tying it. Even tying it, you complete it and get the wizard card. But yes, to normally beat the game, you have to complete all 5 of these courses.
Yep.
Make sense?
For some.
That sounds awful.
Yeah.
It
And
is.
there's a lot more complete-a-thon things you have to do just to, like, intended way to get to the credits. Like, I don't know if you saw, but on the left before I entered the Buckbeak classroom area, there was like a trail to the left, and that takes us to a pixie wall. And we have to do that too. We have to clear 5 waves of pixies. It's a mouse spam fest. Like, we just clear wave after wave, in which you can potentially soft lock, by the way.
Mhm. Yeah, and it happens at the end of so you have your 1 hour run for nothing if you soft lock there.
Yeah,
great
like,
fun.
what can happen is, like, the pixies either can, like, not spawn, or they would just hover under the well, which you can't, like, get to. You can't cast at them, like, when you're under the well, so you're just, like, stuck, and you can't beat the wave, because they have a pool of health, and you have to kill all of them to complete it. Oh, so this is great. He just walks away. He literally just got hit by a hippogriff, and he just, like, walks away as if he's, like, fine.
I'm glad this cutscene isn't skippable.
It's the best.
The best in the game.
It killed me. I'm dying.
Look at me. It's killed me. You're not dying. Alright. So that was that. On to the next spell challenge. Well, actually, first we got a peace fight. The only peace fight left in the first 3 PC any percent runs. We skipped the rest of them.
Yep. There's supposed to be a bunch, like
It's supposed to be a bunch.
6, 7 in total, and we do this one. So we found a lot of ways to go around peace fights.
Because we just hate peas.
Yeah, he's annoying.
He's supposed to only hate first years.
And this fight
if you
also
remember.
like is based on the multicasting.
Ah, yes.
So that's what makes it even worse.
So we need all 3 of us to cast at the same time to get 1 hit off. Or to stun him, and then the Carpe hits him. So we just keep doing that repeatedly. I think it's 5 hits.
I think so. And the only spell that matters is actually Harry's spell. So if Hermione's spell would not hit for whatever reason, like if it gets blocked, but Harry's spell hits, then it still counts.
Yeah, so for like every multicast object, like there's a designated like player that if that cast from that player hits, it's gonna open no matter what the other people do. So we actually gotta take advantage of that later in the run.
Hello and welcome to Transfiguration class.
First, we have like probably the longest cutscene in the game, if I'm not mistaken.
Probably one of the longest, yeah.
Just Transfiguration. They explain a lot of about the story here, about
Alright, I need you
Magi.
guys to spam Herm faces in chat. I know we probably don't have the FFZ emote, but this is where you spam Herm faces right there.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Not even Hermione knows what's going on.
Professor McGonagall, are werewolves animagi?
No, they're not. Animagi turn into animals at will. A werewolf cannot control its.
Also, that transformation is actually quite solid for 2003. No hate on that transformation. It's not perfect, but it's okay.
Perhaps you'd grace the class by having a go at the exercise I've prepared.
Me? Oh, yes.
If you'll just step through this door, then
Hermione is very eager.
let's begin with the Lapifol spell, Miss Granger.
Right. Lapifors.
Alright, so in this spell challenge, we actually do 2 spells, but it's the same kind of spell, just done on 2 different animals. Draconiphores and Lapifors. So we're basically be playing as a bunny and a mini dragon.
Yeah, and both have a terrible hitbox, so walking around with them is kinda annoying from time to time.
So I'm gonna spam the cutscene skip key here to get to the dialogue. Actually, the cutscene skip key is more versatile than just skipping cutscenes. It can also like free the camera on sections where the game auto forces the camera to turn on certain things. But by pressing the cutscene skip key, we unlock the camera again. So it's very handy. Okay. So
Next
we're gonna be
is-
bunny hopping.
Yeah.
Whoever heard
Bunny-
that speed term before?
The bunny is like kind of faster in the air because on the ground it switches between accelerating and decelerating, and in the air it doesn't. So that's why we basically always jump with a bunny.
Oh, and then coming up here is like the extreme use of bunny hopping. You
Nice.
actually get to ride up that wall.
Now let's move
Okay,
on to the
Nick, so you can explain lag jumps.
Oh yeah. So this is one of the probably weirder tricks in this game, which involves going into the menu. You're not allowed to, or you're not supposed to jump over this gap. But by going to the menu and pressing the print screen button on your keyboard, which lags your whole PC for a bit, you get a slightly further jump. So you can actually make that gap. And thankfully you
amazing.
can ledge grab the end.
Yeah, if you press and hold the print screen, it creates more and more lag that you can use to get a little more distance on your jump.
Yeah.
We
It's
have one
kind
other use of it in this run,
so far.
so far at least.
It's kind of one of the tricks that might be a bit dependent on your PC. Like, usually if you have a worse PC, it should be easier because you get more lag, but it's not really proven.
There are other ways to create lag, but this is just the easiest and the fastest way. Like holding F9, which is the in-game's like screenshot feature.
Or just changing the word detail, that also
Yeah,
works.
or changing the world detail from like one extreme to the other extreme. Okay, I'm not gonna press shift on these ledges. If I like cancel ledge grab animation on certain blocks, I can clip through and like soft lock if I press shift too early on those. So
Miss Granger is a bundyman.
Also this, whatever that is,
yeah, it's a bundyman, obviously.
obviously. It's a peak enemy design from this game. And it's actually the only one we fight, like, in this whole run.
Yeah, I was gonna
there
say.
There's some, like, later, but they're just not needed.
Yeah, we just skip past the room because all you really need in there is a challenge shield, but we don't need challenges. Okay, also, Imp Manip fight. Hopefully I get 3 hits off and it'll kill all of them. Ah, perfect.
Nice.
Alright, come up as Maze Skip. You can explain Maze Skip.
So you're supposed to go through the maze, obviously, but by jumping on... That was really fast. By jumping
Yeah.
on a piece of the door that they put there for cosmetic reasons, and then jumping onto the door, we just skip the entire maze. It's pretty precise.
I added the fast strat where you just like all in one motion.
Oh yeah, we can also stop on the door, like, want to take it slower. So it's not that hard, but that was a really good one.
You've completed the challenge. But you'll need to collect
And yeah, she says we need to collect all 10 challenge shields to earn a visit to the beam bonus room, which we obviously don't get to go in this run.
Oh, no
I know how
Bimbo.
much you guys love your beam bonus streams, but
All of this
Sad day.
next time.
I'm sure we'll manage somehow.
yeah.
Hermione, there you
All right,
are.
this dialogue's pretty funny.
Mm-hmm.
I can turn things into dragons now.
Wicked. You mean the flying, roaring, burn down the village sort of dragon?
No. It's just a very small transfigured dragon.
Oh, shame. You can have another go at the challenge if you like, Hermione. Or we can come back and do it another time.
More like, never. All right.
Even though the following morning was stormy,
Quidditch. It's the best Quidditch of the whole series in this game.
Yeah. So, for some reason, they decided to make the Quidditch less and less playable as the series went on. So the first game, you had complete control. You like to move around the map and catch the snitch and stuff. In HB2, the game was moving towards the snitch for you. You just had to move side to side. In this game, it's just a cutscene.
It came 1 year or 1 year after Quidditch World Cup. So
Oh, yeah.
that might be the reason why they didn't make it playable. So people buy the actual Quidditch World Cup game.
I want to say in the console version they had a playable Quidditch section, but I'm not too sure.
I don't remember.
Section. They could have made something cool out of this, though. You know, trying to avoid Dementors while catching the snitch.
Oh yeah, definitely. Speaking of Dementors, now Harry learns to defend himself against them with a kind of stupid spell, because you have to charge it. And obviously as a speedrunner you try to release at the first possible moment you can, which can sometimes lead to releasing the spell too early and not hitting, which is the worst feeling in the world.
Yeah.
For a perfect cast, you must release the spell.
So I'm probably
just as
gonna
the ring
be a little
passes
more
over your
safer.
wand. Give it a try.
Yeah, just to avoid that.
Incantation for the spell is expecto
I mean, the strat for like most of us is wait until the circle hits the wand outside of your hand. And that should work.
Yeah.
Three perfect casts.
There's kind of a section where you usually can't really lose time. It's pretty straightforward. You fight a few Dementors, and that's basically it. We have a strat later on, when it gets to the big Dementor fights, where you can kind of snipe some of them to save a few casts, but yeah, we'll explain that later.
A Dementor.
No, concentrate.
Yeah, Lupin literally just said it's a boggart, but I guess Harry doesn't listen.
Yeah, it's actually a boggart. So we only have to cast Ridiculous. But we're not. And it's working somehow.
When there is more than one Dementor, or in this case, boggart.
And yeah, then we just get introduced to more
Cast a
boggarts.
perfect Patronus at a boggart to disable. Make perfect casts at each boggart in the area before the spell has time to wear off.
And like you actually can't move when you're fighting Dementors. You just stay in the same place because Harry's so petrified. I think that's like one of their perks, is that you can't move around.
I guess. And like, I've never seen anybody die to Dementors in a non-blindfolded run, at least. Because it's just, I don't even know how you die to them. They creep slow, like they creep closer so slowly that it's almost impossible to not defeat them in time.
Alright, so this is like book section. There is another section like this called the Monster Book of Monsters Fight. Just imagine 5 waves of this and having to do this for a normal any percent. Yeah, it's terrible. Okay, so I'm gonna play this really safe. This is called Library Skip. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hit the trigger up here with this Carpe statue, skipping the part where Ron and Hermione have to climb the stairs together and open the door like together, but we just skip that and Hermione gets teleported to this room, and then for this fight we just turn cast into this dragon. This was the original place where it was found.
Yeah.
And yeah, I jumped on the first frame I could, so the wings didn't flap. We're a graphical bug.
Also, like, Cinna explained that really calmly, but that room has a glitch, or a softlock basically. Sometimes Hermione gets teleported out of the room and downstairs, and that's a softlock, and you lose like 40 to 50 seconds, so that could have been bad, and there's nothing to prevent that.
Yeah. Alright, Glacius. This is Harry's spell challenge, and I think it's my personal favorite. It's pretty good.
It's at least like casually spoken, my favorite.
Take care now, Harry. You'll need to eliminate both the creature and its fire. Give it a try.
So there's two uses for Glacius. One is to kill the salamanders, but another reason, the use of it, is to make solid ice.
Solid ice.
Wow, it's solid.
Make liquid ice next time, please. That's better.
Please.
Time to go for a slide. Just
Yeah, this is the part where people were like, oh my god, this is Super Mario 64.
Press the up arrow to go faster and the down arrow to slow down. Off you go. I'll see you at the
There's
end
not much of a
of the
speed strat to this. We basically just press forward and try to not fall out.
Just stay in the middle of the slide, you get the most speed, and there's one section of the slide where you do have to slow down unless you overshoot the gap. That's about it.
To land on the Spongify perfectly. So sometimes you have to slow down a bit, but usually we go full speed. And that's basically what 80% of the challenge is made of. And the rest is salamanders. But it's fun to do that, sliding.
Yeah, which is why it's my favorite. I don't know how Harry hasn't like fallen on his butt yet, because he's going so fast down this ice slide. I don't think he has really good shoes.
He's a seeker though, he has sick balance, probably.
I guess. Alright, we got a little intermission here with some pixies. And now back to our normally scheduled program.
Back to the fun. There's actually like one big trick coming up in this challenge. And the rest is kinda just slides, but hey, they're the best part. We also always go left in categories where we don't have to collect stuff, because it's just the faster way. The right side does have, I think, a shield and some cauldron cakes. Yes. So in completionist categories, we have to go right all the time. They're like two choice, or like twice.
There's
or
two
thrice.
forks if you go right both times for completion.
Yeah.
Alright, so here's Glacius Skip. Hopefully physics is gonna help me here. And yeah, I got it. Okay, so I use the spawning platform there to boost up and make the gap. Nice triple. It saves us from having to go to the side rooms, because normally you have to go there to spawn like the platforms to like walk here, but you just jump over. You just use that platform to boost your way over here. And then the Imp fight was pretty good. I used some manipulation and got like 4 crackers off. Pretty fast fight.
Yeah, the way that works is whenever you're on a moving platform, the momentum of the platform gets added to Harry's speed. So if you jump off a moving platform, you have like the platform momentum and your own, and that makes the jump.
You can get clipped on it sometimes, because like it is like a staircase kind of platform, so like it is possible to nick the side of it and lose your speed, but
yeah,
it doesn't happen too much. Oh yeah, getting that Night Shield used to be a pain in old 80%, but
Excellent job, Harry.
we don't have to worry about it.
The Glacius challenge. Oh,
Not anymore.
but I see you didn't find all of the
we actually have a setup to get that 9th shield. As a casual player, if you just don't go as fast, it should be in the perfect position to collect. But in a speedrun, we go too fast, so the cycle is just wrong, and the shield is somewhere. So we need a specific setup to actually get it.
Yeah, we gotta time it just right.
So, how was it?
You can freeze things now.
I could slide everywhere. Oh, wicked! And salamanders the size of Hagrid.
The blue or the scarlet variety? Doesn't really matter, I suppose.
You can have another go at the Glaciers Challenge if you want, Harry.
Or we can come back later.
All right, so that was the last of the spell challenges. Now we got like the rest of the story plot and then final exams.
On going to visit Hagrid. He was anxious to hear the outcome of
So yeah, here we're at the part where Buckbeak is on the block.
Was that? I think it was.
Poor Buckbeak.
Poor Hagrid.
And the level coming up is the one we talked about earlier. That relies on duo casting, and the AI is kind of annoying. Go really fast. You release your spell before the AI's Rictus Umbra even shows up, but that's risky, of course. So don't know how safe you play it with.
I've got to, you
Yeah, it's just trouble because there is some like objects where it looks like it should be good, and then Hermione's spell fizzles right before it connects, so it doesn't work. And then you don't realize it for the next like few seconds, and then you waste more time because you didn't realize it, and then the skeleton hits you, and then you lose more time.
Yeah.
It can easily snowball like that.
Can also happen that you kill the skeleton with like 2 single shots, and you have to wait for it to respawn, which is like 20 seconds or 15 or something. So
So yeah, this entire level was co-op casting.
pretty much.
There is like one section where you like separate because booby traps, but it's pretty quick.
Yeah, and conveniently, they both get the spell they know, otherwise they would have been stuck.
Yeah, very conveniently are able to complete their individual sections. Yeah, a lot of times Hermione can just like teleport to our location if we get too far away, so we actually use that there to get to that door sooner. And here are the skellies I was talking about, and there's gonna be more skellies later on in this level. If you like cast too close, sometimes it won't work either. So I try to keep my distance a little bit. Oh, come on, Hermione, thank you.
That's the part we talked about. A sneaky trap, and Harry falls down in a cutscene that we skip.
Oh, so I don't know if you mentioned this, but with these fireballs, you can like store as many fireballs as you want, so you can just go 1, 2, and don't have to go back for another one. Oh,
I
1.
think you can go up
Almost 2.
2 more.
I was trying to get the ledge crab skips. I got one of them. Hey, look, another ice slide. We're just gonna be jumping up the tower here, chaining some Spongifies. No biggie. This Alhamora door, it can be annoying sometimes. I have had so many runs where it looks like it's good, and then they never start to unlock, and then 5 seconds go by and like I'm checked out and I don't realize it.
Yeah, you can't really tell sometimes. Sometimes the particle effect happens because one spell hit it and you think it worked, but nope.
Hermione? Did she always do that?
Yeah, okay. Hermione and Ron in this game do not have strafing animations. So the only animation is walking forward, so if you try to walk left and right, it'll look like they're walking forward still.
She was following you running backwards there.
Yeah, she was moonwalking, yeah, because she doesn't have a backward walking animation.
It's amazing.
Yeah. I don't know why, because in the game files there are Hermione and Ron strafing animations. They just, for some reason, didn't put them in the final game. I think they exist in the files.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
But yeah. Time for a bunch of plot dump in this cutscene. The pacing is just terrible.
90% of the plot in this one cutscene.
90% of the drops of the twists and development.
One of the last big unskippable ones, though. Yeah, after that, most of them are skippable.
And Scabbers, he's not a rat. He's a wizard by the name of Peter Pettigrew.
What?
Watch.
I can explain.
He really can explain.
I can explain.
No, I can't do too really.
Pettigrews and animagus. It wasn't serious.
Oh yeah,
when you betrayed your parents, Harry.
Fun fact, we actually were able to go into game files and reverse the transformation textures for Sirius. So we went from like human to dog.
Yeah.
That looked pretty funny. Alright, so Dementors. I guess this is like the final boss kind of in this game. Well,
Yeah.
not this wave, but the second wave after Back in Time, which is the next level. But that turn cast I did there in between rounds, we used this charging like. Oh, did I not get it? No, I got it. Okay, so you know how like the Expecto Patronum spell takes a while to charge up. We actually used that time to start casting on one Dementor, hold it down, and then when the next wave spawns, release the spell, and then it will hopefully connect on a spawning Dementor, so we save time that way.
Yeah, it sometimes depends on where the Dementor spawns, and you can get unlucky and get a really bad spawn, so nothing works.
Alright, so this is Back in Time. We used the time turner to do the thing, and now we're trying to save Buckbeak. This level pretty much comes down to Imp fight. It's like the most RNG Imp fight in the game.
Yeah. The only one we really don't have manipulation that always works, or at least consistently.
Alright. So it's coming up here. I think there's like 8 imps or something like that. There's a lot of imps in this fight.
People got sick multi-kills here, like... did somebody get all 8? I'm not sure, but...
Maybe?
Maybe.
Oh, that was a nice triple. Triple? Oh, so close. Come back here. Oh, nice. Doing the dance. Come on.
Oh my god, he just dances at you?
Yeah.
That's so rude.
I know. It's annoying and rude. And slow.
Yeah, not gonna throw candy while he's dancing.
And that's why, like, you want to execute your manipulation strats early in the fight before it gets to that nonsense. Okay.
Apparently Liam did get all 8 at some point.
Ah, okay. After these imps, or pixies, there's gonna be a turn cast. So normally behind that door to the right, there's 2 Depulsos that you co-op cast, but since Hermione is the designated character for this one, we can, before we control Harry, we can turn cast Depulso through the gate and activate that before we control Harry. So once this gate opens, it'll be activated.
That saves way more than you would think. There's like a really long animation of that Spondify going like opening and stuff, so it is a pretty neat trick.
Yeah, it took me a while to get it. I think it was like 4th try.
It's not too
You
bad.
can turn one way or the other way. I think a couple people turn left to find it faster, but I don't know. It's an on and off thing for me. Alright, so this is the last Dementor fight. There are 3 waves. We're going to try to do that turn cast strat twice. So here's one. So we charge it, turn cast so it's in the air longer. Oh, it didn't connect. So we turn there to like keep the spell in the air, so when they spawn it can like still connect, but sometimes that happens where it just doesn't activate.
Yeah, we try to do it like not in front of a rock, ideally, because that can block the spell sometimes, but in general that's how it works. Turning and then it hits.
All right, so we saved Sirius, and the last part of the run is final exams. So, in terms of the plot of the story, that's been finished. Now it's the game coming in and be like, hey, you got some final exams you gotta complete because you're a third-year student.
So you have to actually like do exams.
Yeah,
That's
Basically.
we're not like
unexpected.
they're like spell challenges, but exams.
It's like the initial spell challenge,
here
but
we go.
harder.
Carpe finals is difficult to get fast. So here we go. Oh,
Yeah.
nice. Okay, so that first room, we skip the waiting time for that platform to come around by just Tarzaning around that. And then we just go up here, skip that room, and then we skip up here, skip this room, and we skip like half the level. Like if you keep going straight, there's like a whole another section that we just don't see. And then the whole point is to get to these cycles faster. There is one other strat I could do, but it's really difficult. It's called the Myelin. Like, you save another 15 seconds because each cycle is like 15 seconds.
It's like a 2-frame window or something, so...
Yeah, you use a print screen strat, but it's pretty difficult. Alright, so here's the last strat in this final, and that's the Imp Skip. They're down there, but we're like, no, peace out.
If you fail this one and you fall down into the imp pit, then you have to actually fight them. There's no other way out.
Forced to fight them. Fall down. Okay, so Transfig final. This is found by Emmy. You can actually bounce off with the bunny. Bounce off the Spongify tile. And the point is, we're not doing like going to those rabbit holes and doing like those like platforming sections. And then this is called a kick jump. Nice. Okay.
Nice.
Doing that strat later on a good run is very scary.
Yeah, it's not necessarily a hard jump, but if you're like on a good run, it becomes a really hard jump.
Yeah, you gotta like jump with kind of the right time. You gotta strafe a little, and it's easy to bump on the wall. Yeah. So we skipped the bunny section of the final, but now the rest of this final is a Draconic Force obstacle course. And that'll take us to the end of this final.
It's the most frustrating thing for child me, because you have a timer in the top right that does refresh every now and then, like every few rooms. But as a child, you're not... I ran out of time constantly in this challenge.
It looks like just Dragon Flappy Bird.
It is.
Yeah, it actually is. And then, yeah, the flaps, the wings on the Draconiphores is kind of annoying because once you start to turn side to side pretty quickly, you actually just lose control because the camera it's hard to keep up. So you want to, not turn as much and not as swiftly. But other than that, it should be good. Okay, I'll come up here. When we get to this lamp, we're gonna go left and then immediately like leave that section unless you have to wait for the lamp to fully light up.
Yeah, that's a trigger in the air that we just fly into with the dragon.
Alright, this is the second last part of the run. We're gonna do a print screen jump here. And since there's no death triggers like outside the slide, the way you actually die on the slide is by triggering the falling animation. We just skip to the end, drop down, and then reach the end of the slide trigger, which will spawn us back to where we need to be. So that saves 5 seconds. Yeah, that lag
off this game.
Yeah, that lag jumped us over the death trigger, essentially. And the rest of this final exam is like the rest of the enemies in this game because they didn't have anywhere else to put it. So we got imps, we got crabs, we got pixies. I don't think we have books. And then we have salamanders. And more imps. There's a lot of imps in this final exam.
It's a pretty terrible level. Like, these are...
And then you can do this. If you jump like in transition here, you just do that. And like I said, these crabs are bouncy. They can be annoying, and this is where it starts to bite you. This is a bad crab. I've never gotten this bad of a crab.
Yeah, that one is stuck.
Wow, that's never happened before.
Marathon luck.
I mean, it probably has, but not to me, you know. Okay, last part of this section. Pixies.
I think this section can softlock, right? It should be this one.
Yes, if you're capped to like higher than 60, you can also softlock on those pixies coming out of the chest. They just won't open. Chest won't open.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I've softlock on 60 here as well, but maybe not. Maybe my memory is wrong.
Okay, so I turn cast actually behind that. There's a salamander with a fire behind that, and I just kill all 3 of them without even looking at it. And that actually spawns these next wave of imps earlier, which would spawn these gates going down sooner. And then it just changes. Okay. Just gotta kill these salamanders, and then a sponge fatal will spawn. It'll take us back to the very top.
Exam completed.
Exam completed. Do not hit the replay final exam button.
Yeah, please don't.
Not.
I was gonna comment, they weren't saying you could redo the challenge to get all the shields yet.
I think they do. I just skipped it. You skip it. Okay, so here coming up is the skip that made 80% really good. So coming up here, so we're in this cutscene. They're gonna make us show our checklist, which we have completed none of, by the way. They're gonna be like, okay, you gotta go back into Hogwarts and complete the rest of it to beat the game. Alright, so they're gonna boot us back right here, and then, but the end trigger is right there next to the door. That's time. That's actually time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, wait, what?
Yeah.
The end trigger's just right there?
They put it in the door for whatever reason.
They didn't put it in the door, they put it on that spot, which can be accessed by jumping in the door.
Yeah. And it took us a while to realize that it was kind of recently found, like 2 months ago or something.
Yeah, the Tedder actually found that jump. We've been like searching that kind of skip for years because we hated the complete-a-thon aspect of this run. And then we were looking like near Dumbledore, we were looking near McGonagall, we were looking in the bushes, like somewhere around there. Turns out it's actually behind you in the freaking door.
Amazing.
Like, yeah, that saves 25 minutes, by the way. That's why this category is
Skip.
The biggest skip in the whole run.
Yeah, now we don't have to do any more collectathon stuff. But yeah, that's the run. Pretty good stuff.
A really good time actually. Sub 50 RTA is pretty solid.
Yeah, I got a 49:10 loadless. So a little over a minute behind my PB.
Nice.
World record's like 47:48. I think my PB 7 seconds off that. But yeah. Trying to think of anything else to say. It was a pretty solid run. I mean, if you look at my splits.
It was really good, yeah. Like, basically got all of the main skips, so...
Yeah, after Carpe, I mean, I kind of settled in. That was like the worst level of the run.
It's always the worst level, to be honest.
Yeah, like we have this meme where like, still at Carpe, because we always reset at Carpe. It's just that difficult.
Do you have any shout-outs you want to do before we move things on?
Shout-outs to Liam Orvek. He's really good at this game, current world record holder. Shout-outs to Tedder for finding that skip at the very end that, you know, saved 25 minutes. We recently did like a 80% tournament of this game at the start of the year, so that was pretty fun. Thanks to everyone who like joined that. I think at Powerthon we'll be showcasing HP3 100%, so that's what we'll be doing, all the collectathon stuff. So if you're interested in seeing that kind of stuff, be sure to check in the Powerthon 5.
Yeah, and as a reminder, that's going to be August 9th, and you can check it out at twitch.tv/Potterthon.
Yeah. But yeah, anything else to add, Nixo?
I think we're pretty much done, right? Thanks for having us, I guess.
Yeah,
First of
thank you guys so much for having us on GDQ. I've been trying to get an HP and a GDQ, so a hotfix. Thank you guys so much for putting this on. It really means a lot.
Yeah, it's an honor.
Thanks so much to you for running and Nixo for helping to commentate. We're going to take a quick break and move on to the next game, which is going to be Lego Harry Potter 1 through 4 by the Writing Scribe. So tune in for that. That'll be a nice change in gameplay to see. And we'll be right back in just a few minutes with that.